And where this mountain exists, there's all the colors. Every color that you can think of exists inside this mountain. And the waters that start at the top of this mountain come flowing towards us. And everything comes flowing towards us. All that spirit and all that energy. This one here is for Uncle anyway, send him on his journey. Ngin venga changi na yoko vega wanting garinga ngangin nangangin na ngachangi na yoko vega wanting garinga vaya vegiranda jowon ve murang aya bangi angin nangangin na ngachangi na yoko vega wanting garinga vaya Nimbe ngacangin na yoko ve jawon jingaringa ngangin na ngacangin na yoko ve jawon jingaringa bayar Vegiranda jawon ve murang aya bange ngangin na ngacangin na yoko ve jawon jingaringa bayar Yo, my wife for Lapa we say Pujara.
Thank you, Carl Green and Uncle Lionel. Next up, we've got a bit of a special treat. Uncle Bimbo, are you going to come up and sing us a song? I think it might be one you might know. Well, I won't say nothing. No, as soon as you start, you'll know it.
Better Brisbane Glass any man.
Can you say something, my auntie?
I was going to say something.
Yeah, can you say it, please?
I was going to say that last night a friend of mine was showing me all of
Well, ladies and gentlemen, my name's Errol Muckett,
pictures of Uncle Sam.
and 50 years ago,
And every time I look
Brother
at
Sam,
him and Auntie Kathy,
Brother
they
Charlie,
were holding hands. Every photo. And
Brother
I
Tiger
reckon
Bales.
one of the
we
best
played for
love
the first All
stories.
Black in Brisbane. They called us Gelangi.
They met when they were 16, and they were holding hands then, and they were
I
holding
mean, we all
hands.
got white, no matter what,
Right to the end.
good friends and that, but when we first
That-
played with Brother Sam,
Like,
let people, no matter where he went, by example,
it's one of those
And nothing
best
but what he
love
wanted.
stories.
but it's hard, but he
In
pushed it,
our-
not only for himself,
What I
for
see,
us. And
This
when we
Annie
played
Pat is the eldest
rugby
daughter
league,
to
we
Annie Beryl
trained
Wharton.
at Musgrave
Thank you.
Park. That was our training ground. No white man wouldn't give us a park. We trained, and the only light we got from the street light surrounding Musgrave Park. And that was 50 years ago. And I still look at it at our football training park. And I could say that he led by example on the football field, and as a brother, he was well known because he made us well known and respected for what he done. We followed example. And he sadly missed by friends and relatives, and I was proud to meet him through football and through other activities, and he was a great man. Thanks very much.
Hey, my brother, you got something to say? Which way? Yeah, love you, big time. Hey, aunt, that's Robbie and Bevan, uncle, Kenny. This one. Yeah, this one in the black. That's Robert and Bevan. Yeah. I just tune in, Brother Bimbo, and I think Ricky Pascoe gonna give a tune, eh? Yeah, our brother Ricky, they're giving a tuna, but one uncle there kind of give a talk here.
Well, this reminds me of this funeral here. It reminds me of the biggest, one of the other biggest funerals we had for a male, Uncle Don Brady.
Oh, can you say that again?
I'd like to say
Of another big
good afternoon
funeral we went
to everyone
and that was
here.
Uncle Don Brady.
My name is
And we
John
went up
Wakely. I was a friend
Herbert
of
to bury
Sam
him,
Watson's
and he
for
was
40
they put him
years.
on a dray,
I was with him on the
lifestyle,
street marches,
horses pulling the dray.
at many meetings, even the university. Jackie Huggins out at the UQ, and I've been supporting the Indigenous people for.
Can you mob be quiet and let him speak?
Thank you. I'm really. I just got out of the Royal Brisbane Hospital today. I'm 90 years old. Sam was only 67, but I knew Sam for 40 years. I know how hard he worked. I went to many meetings and protests, including in Canberra, at the Tent Embassy. I came from Melbourne. Yes, nice to see you. And when I left Melbourne in 1959, I'd never spoken to any Aborigines. Where I lived in Melbourne, it was a snob's place. Now, I wasn't a snob. I came from poverty, a bit like a lot of you people here. I was in institutions, so I know, you know, when that's the song here, they took the baby away. I know the actual meaning of that. You know, my parents were Kiwis, but I grew up in Australia, and I didn't have the benefit of my parents at all. I had to go to New Zealand at the age of 25 just to find out what happened to my father. He got killed in Hitler's war, you know, dive bombs. But anyhow, my point to talking to you today is that Sam did such a bloody lot of good work. He was a wonderful advocate for you people. And some of you would have been in King George Square when Charles Perkins had died. And there was a wonderful ceremony put on in King George Square, which was run only by the Indigenous people. And what they were saying there that day was, here I am handing over the arrow, I'm handing over the spear. It's time for you other young Indigenous fellas like me, this is what they were saying, it's now for your time to take over. That was when Charles Perkins died. Charles Perkins was the first university graduate of any Indigenous people. That fellow was a sportsman. He grew up, he was born on the table there at Old Telegraph Station in Alice Springs, on the table. And he learnt to play soccer, and he went to a posh school. He ended up captaining the team for Australia. This is Charles Perkins. And when he went to England, to show you what a classy player he was, not only they beat everyone, but the point is the people over there said, why don't you go to university? Charles said, what the hell's that? And anyhow, Charles did. He came back to Sydney, went to university, first Indigenous person to get a degree. This fella had diabetes. The dialysis machine was tested on Charles Perkins. How many of you people know that? Charles Perkins was a pioneer, a wonderful leader. Now, Sam Watson was the bloke that took after him. He was only a young bloke, Sam, when I knew him, and I watched him grow and went to many meetings, protest marches, you name it, I was there. In those days, I never said who the hell I was. I was more interested in helping you people. I found, when I went around Australia, what a rotten deal that the Indigenous people were getting. And for that reason, since 1959, I've been a supporter of the Indigenous people of Australia. This is why I'm here. You people know that you're as smart and smarter than most other people, but you were not given the opportunity to be that way. You were not given the reading, writing abilities which matter in the world we're now in. Charles Perkins was one of those that did get that talent, and the others that I know, well, I'll just give you a couple of names because you know all of them. But Bonnie Robertson, down at Griffiths, she's a leader in the Indigenous unit. I'm a friend of hers. I've had him at my place. And also, from the University of Queensland, you had Jackie Huggins. This lady wrote 4 books. The talent the Indigenous people have got is amazing. I knew that from the moment I met them out there in the desert country in 1959. And I said to myself, these people were healthy. We're living in this sort of area, a desert. Jesus, I never knew how tough it was. These people were well-built, athletic, and so on. I was meeting them, I'll finish, I won't take much longer. But the point is, I was observing them and mixing with them. I was greeting them and shaking hands with them, but I was breaking all the protocols because I didn't know them. But I tell you what, I became friends with those people. Les Nelson, I haven't seen Les for a few years now, but the point is, I have been mixing with you people. I've had these people in my home, and I believe that what we've got to do, this is the last thing I want to say, that in South Africa, Nelson Mandela got out of jail after many years because he was doing what Charles Perkins was doing. He was doing what Sam Watson was doing. He was speaking out for his people. That's you people. He was speaking for them and saying we've got a better way of doing things. We've got to do it with each other, not against each other. That's what Sam Nelson Mandela was on about. And it turned around, they called it truth-telling. And this is the one thing we must do in Australia. The people of Australia must, in fact, meet with the Indigenous people, tell the truth on both sides, and then get on with living together in a better way.
Thank you. We got Brother Bimbo gonna give us a tune up here, and I think Ricky Pascoe there on the guitar. Stay tuned. On the side there.
Hey, folks, there you go. I asked her if I could sing a song, and she would have seen a couple of songs too. I just hear her say that. Give him Val here. Where is he? Here. I want to sing one song, brother, before you get up. Because I need a tow truck to get you off then. Typical Murray. Yeah. I know what she said to me. She just told me now to do that song. She thought she was talking to Crow then when I started with her. Yeah. But yeah, we've been together for 36 years, walking the dropouts. Angus was with us for 36 years. We lost him in 2016. So there's one song that I wanted to sing, and this man here always asks Mop to sing that one song. He says, sing me song, brother. Sing my song for me, brother. Always sing my song for me, brother. Besides racial discrimination too. But it's this song here that he wanted. You know the song? Help me out, eh? I saw a story of the Brisbane Blacks. A story that is touching, a story that is right. In the story, a group of people sitting in a park, drinking in harmony, drinking until dark. You wonder why they're like that. Hey! The so-called drunken blacks, they know that they've done no wrong, but the pressure from society is strong. Every day, each passing day, our culture slowly dies, like a piece of paper thrown onto a fire. Now all we've got is ancient weapons, now is our only trade, compared to all the immigrants. Look how much we made. You look down through your nose just to see the black man groveling down at your feet, with weary eyes looking up at you, waiting for the message to get through. You know the song, come on. It's time for them to sleep, and it's not in a bed, but in some warm surroundings, in a park or in a shed, warmed only by the grog that's been drunk through the day, warmed only by the grog, the killer of his mate. Come on, hey! The very first Australians around, come on! The very first people to be down
my brother, Sam Watson.
Oh, I'm not going to match that, no way in the world. Tell you now. You can't beat that song all over Australia. Brisbane Black, stand up, yeah! Yeah, we're here. Yeah, this song, I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for Uncle Sam Watson.
coming up
He
next.
came into the prisons with Uncle Norm Brown Jr., Auntie Janie Arnold. They stood outside the jails when we were rioting and burning Bogger Road and bashing us with buttons, and they come in and we turned political in jail too. So when we became political in jail, we had our own political movement in jail. And we were called the Rock Apes from Musgrave Park. And the coppers called us Rock Apes, black kids. We sniffed glue and all that, you know. But we come together and we were one mob. Back in the day, we were one mob. We shared, we cared, and we didn't carry on like two bob watches. And we, you know, if someone had a bed in the feed, you'd have a bed in the feed. We used to go up to Auntie Phyllis Colonel's place and get turtle soup up here from the Brisbane River. And, you know, old Opal House over here used to give us feeds and we used to swing on the swing. You know, my mum used to go to the Palace Hotel back in the day. And I was born next to Talbot Flats. And I actually met the grandfather's son here today, Mr. Bellos, the West End people. So I was born up there in 1966. So I just been away for a long time. I told everybody I'd gone a long way and they believed me. I was just up the road watching you all. For the last 4 years I've been isolated, healing, connecting to my family, which are the Darul Darrig Nagurubal Gamilaray songline. And it's been a great journey learning about my great-grandmother who was Jabba Jabu Jabu Bairang Betsy Gemi Billawara, who was Jabba Jabba of the Darul Urin. And she married into the 4 chiefs of the Darug language group. Chief Kuman, Chief Namat Gilbert, and Billy Giles changed her name to Biddy. And she has a lot of children, and them children are all through this country, and we are called a Pamanungan family language group. We are one family language, different tribal totems, different languages and different dialects. But we are very closely related people. Yeah. And when you find that out in the future, you will understand the strength within you. And when you walk in the first law that our old ancestors, King Burriga, Joe Anderson from Illawarra, stated 150 years after invasion, he said that our law was to love, share, care, and not be divided. And to put someone in Parliament so we can go and talk to them and put our complaints to them. But those are, you know, we're getting there. And we're winning. We are winning as Aboriginal people in this country because we got strong warriors like Uncle Sam Watson that left a legacy and left. Uncle Sam Watson, he started, and with all the old people in this community, they started these organisations. So then people going around today thinking you're the ants pants in our community and you just come and blow in, think twice. Because we know who the real Brisbane Blacks are, and we know who the warriors are, and we know who the true people are that walk with the people and don't turn their backs and don't close their doors.
Yoey!
Yeah. So anyway, I'm making out I'm a singer. And I've been in this isolation in this little room for about 4 years. And I spent all my life in jail for 20 years. Taken away an 8-year-old from Paddington. This is called The Last March. We were walking down the street, marching for our rights now. We would sing our songs together and fight for our rights now. Oh, by me, guide me through the troubled times today. March with our warriors in the future, 'cause our ancestors passed away. Hey, 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 come on, march. It's for you, my warrior. Think about you. Everything that you've done for your people in this world. Oh, sing it now. March with us now for justice and peace for my people We gotta be free in our country. This is the last match for Uncle Sam now. We are here to pay respect, yeah, to the family that made our community. In our minds we'll never forget you. We will see, hey, Miami, hey, Nugura, ha. We will last match for our uncle, warrior in Dreamtime. Younger, respect to the younger.
Yeah, oh yeah, I'm gonna go and say his name actually.
Now you got
So talk to me.
Annie Rhonda and Annie Rhonda and
1, 2.
you got the brother and Annie Rhonda gonna give a two now? Yeah. Val and Annie Rhonda gonna give a two here?
What an honour to be here today to remember a powerful, strong warrior in Sam Watson.
Sorry to cut in. If you're catching a bus from here to Cordy, down to the dinosaurs there, the last bus is at 3 o'clock. Just got passed off the British Council. So the last bus is leaving just down here at 3 o'clock. Thank you.
And I met Sam on many marches, and also I'm 4 generations stolen people. And I've done a lot of healing through Link Up and Brother Sam. And so I thank him for that. With his help and support. And also I was in the choir with him for Meandering Voices, and music is a very important part for our healing. So I love to sing, I love to do art, I love to dance. Yay. I do corroboree. I used to run a dance school as tap dancing, and I teach art to all our young people at Bremer High. Just for 1 hour, because I'm on the age pension now, but I stay hours yarning up with them and passing on cultural knowledge and like history, language, dreaming stories, and they've taught me Snapchat, Twitter, screenshots, so it's a two-way learning. So I've gained a lot of strength from meeting Brother Sam and Sister Kathy through our choir, because choir music speaks to all our hearts. Doesn't matter what race you are, what nationality, what language you speak. So now we're going to do a song I sang up in the mission with, Amazing Grace. I'll do it in my language, which we couldn't speak it, but we can sing it in a Christian way. We were flogged and got our mouths scrubbed if we spoke it. Yet on Sunday they let us sing it, all dressed up for Jesus. And other days we were barefooted and wore aprons. So.
Yeah, hi. My name's Val Brown. I'm a cousin brother to first cousin brother to Sam, and I worked alongside him, and did a lot of things with him over the years. And we'd like to pay great respect to our brother. Might be gone today, but never forgotten.
That's true.
Give him a big hand.
That's him. That's him.
That's him now.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now Walgu monu, mogu mogu, wangara golinu, ngayuna, balamonu, mudingu, godau biki, badapita, balumuringu, guruturu, walangayu, nangu.
Thank you, Rhonda.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
One more, Rhonda, please.
Walgu monu, mogu mogu, wangara golinu, ngayuna, balamonu, mudingu. Ulabi, badabita, balumuringu, guruturu, walangayu, nangu. Everybody,
more for
nice and
saying.
loud. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Was blind, but now I
Thank you.
Can I just do a little funny jam with you, Mum? Oh, thank you, my brother.
Thank you, Rhonda.
Help me, Rhonda. Our mob back home in Western Australia, well, we just buried my niece who was shot by the police. So in our community, we have so much trauma, layer upon layer of trauma. So we just buried her back in my hometown. I grew up with a grandfather in the mission in Carnarvon, Western Australia. And I also buried my cousin brother. If white people don't know that term, cousin brother means cousin white fell away, brother black fell away, your first cousin. So cousin brother. We buried him. He was tasered 2 years ago over and over and over. And that affected his health. He died at 50. We buried him too. So we must never give up on justice. I don't care about being recognised in the Constitution. I want justice for our mob. Because my father was the first black person in custody's inquiry, Royal Commission, and I never ever met him because I was stolen and they had no rights over me. In WA, we were owned by the government from birth to 21. Parental rights were stripped of all our people. So I was robbed of that, robbed of seeing him from dying in prison, and they didn't care for him. So that's why we must never be silent. And in high school, I teach our kids to find their voice, because if we are silent, nothing will change. So keep being noisy and mob and get out there. And we are
Make the noise, yes, okay. Whoa.
and we are only here on the strength of our ancestors and all our radical people who walked this life before us. We need you still today. So now we will finish, we'll do a lingo song called Titi Tura the Wangani. Anyone understand what I said? We do it in my language, Nyunga language and desert language from Kalgoorlie. And the story speaks about children. They play deadly together, then they have a little fight. But the innocence of children, they will forgive. And as big fellas, sometimes we carry the grudge. for many, many years so we can learn of the innocence of children. So Didi Tura the Wangarni.
Okay, here we go.
Get up and let's celebrate our brother. Didi Tura the Wangarni. Didi Tura the Wangarni.
Hey!
Didi Tura the Wangarni. Didi Tura the Wangarni. Nurumba Didi Kala. Balaritana Gulirani. Balaritana Gulirani.
Hey!
Balaritana Gulirani. Balaritana Gulirani. Nurumba Didi Kala. Do this, you guys. Nicha Kulanga Wanga Nyunga language. Nicha Kulanga Wanga Nyunga.
Hey!
Nicha Kulanga Wanga Nyunga. Nicha Kulanga Wanga Nyunga. Nurumba Didi Kala. Friends, now they're fighting. Aliwa Kulanga Wanga Nyunga. Aliwa Kulanga Wanga Nyunga. Hey! Aliwa Kulanga Wanga Nyunga. Thank you very much.
You want to come up and say it, brother?
No, it's all right. We're going to pass the baton, the speaker, on to someone else. Who's next? No, I'm not shy.
Yeah, well, just before we go, I'd like to thank everybody. And it was just a great, amazing day here in great support to Brother Sam and all the family there and everybody. Don't forget, we're all one mob, okay? And if you can't have a Merry Christmas, make sure you have a Murray one, okay?
I see Nancy had come a long way to pay her respects. Nancy, hello. I wondered which song Uncle always did the Welcome to Country for a lot of the events that happened in West End.